Hey everybody, today I want to talk about the story of the three Weatherlocks. Not even going to bother pronouncing that major tongue twister of a scientific name they have. So there's the two of them, two out of those three were just there. There's a wild, there's a wild type brown one, a half wild, half gold one haven't seen before, and a third one called 24K Golden Weatherlock right there. And as was this was touched over, these varieties were touched over in the basic introductory video. They two out of the three, the wild type and the 24K Golden Weatherlock, were Christmas presents to me from my very, very, very good friend Liam. If I get his permission, as was stated in that video, I'll be able to give him an a I mean no, sorry. He'll be able to introduce himself on video. Anyhow, to understand the significance of these weatherlocks, let's start with the story of Liam. So, previously, I this all goes back to June 2021 when I got this tank and the other tanks that I have. So it had been a while to get those tanks. Previously, before getting the tanks I have, I only had the 65-gallon or 243-liter tank. That wasn't enough. I needed bigger. I wanted bigger. And finally, that I had the chance to go bigger and get all the fish I wanted, I thought might as well invite my friends over to show off all these awesome fish, have a good time with them, etc. So in June 2021, I invited my friend Liam for the first time to see the fish. He was certainly interested, but he was busy, so he declined for when he had time. We tried a few more times in July and August, couldn't arrange a date, and then we tried again in October, November 2021. Still couldn't arrange a date because he was busy, which is totally fair enough. Then in December 2021, we had a plan to we were actually going to go to the local pet store. He was going to accompany me to the local pet store and then come over to my place to check out the fish for the Boxing Day sales. And we had a third friend of ours called Vicky who was going to join in on that. But thanks to COVID restrictions, Liam ended up not being available, and my friend Vicky could only come with me to the pet store. She wasn't going to come to my house for COVID reasons. So, close, but still not quite. We tried a few more times in, I think, January of 2022, but I had a tank leak, which will be covered in videos about that tank in January 2022, that sideline things. But January 2022 was the last time I saw. Well, I'm was the last time I saw my friend Liam for a while. In person, that is. After that, I think February to April 2022, we tried a few more times to get together, but he was still busy. And I don't think I heard from him from, I think, about late April 2022 to late September 2022. And then until the late September 2022, I gave him a phone call. He picked up. He was doing okay, but he was busy. That's why he couldn't get back to me, which again was fair. But we had a brief touch-in, and then we were able to see each other in person in 9 months. First time in 9 months. At the end of October 2022, we still couldn't get a date then, but we vowed we would find some time to get together, and I would be able to show him the fish. Then, I hadn't heard from him in almost 11 months, from October 20th, 2022 to September 21st, 2023. It was a shame. I thought I might not see him anymore. Like, I mean, I tried to contact him a couple times. He couldn't get back to me. And I think I stopped between February and September 2023. Until September 20th, 2023, I had just released some new fish out of the quarantine tank into this tank. I'll explain what those fish are when I get to their story. And on the off chance, I was wondering if Liam would be interested in seeing them. Maybe he would be more available now. So I gave him a call. And then the very next day, he got right back to me. Turned out, of course, he was more busy than before, but he had been a little more freed up nowadays. And there was some good news. He said when he got back to me that, one, he was working at a place very close to the pet store, so that was convenient. I would be able to stop over and see him, which was quite surprisingly conveniently located next to the pet store, of course. And then, of course, he says his girlfriend was also another friend of mine, and she would have liked to see me too. So, unexpected surprise there. But this was not Vicky. This was This was another party. This was his girlfriend's called Amber. She's going to be another friend I'll be introducing to Fish Story. If I get her permission, she'll be able to give, just like with Liam, she'll be able to give you her thoughts on the Fish Story presentation in a future video. Anyway, so I've been in touch with him a few times between September 21st and December 6th, but I hadn't caught him at his job yet. Then on December 6th, I had went to his job. Actually, he was working at the grocery store close to the pet store, and I actually caught him there for the first time saw him in person for the first time since October 28th, 2022. And I stopped over again on December 8th, and it was on December 8th that he said that he actually told me about the fish-related parts of this story. So he said he felt really bad about not being able to get in touch with me for all that time, not seeing me for that long. So to make it up to me, him and Amber were going to get me fish I would have gotten for Christmas, like even a group of fish if need be. Now, just a little side story. This was actually the inspiration for his Christmas present. So here's the thing. On December 6th, when I saw him in person for the first time in over a year, I was actually buying a gingerbread house at the grocery store he worked at. So I was thinking I would give him him and his girlfriend, a gingerbread-related Christmas present. But I wasn't quite sure what that present would be. But when he said he would get him and Amber would be getting me a whole bunch of fish if needed, that gave me the idea. Their gift would be a whole Christmas dinner. Anyway, yeah, so him telling me about my gift were the magic words to make his gift come together. Anyhow, I stopped by at the grocery store a few more times to visit him between then and we agreed on December 27th, but that ended up getting delayed. Amber got sick. We delayed it to December 28th. Only he could come because she was still sick. The funny thing is that December 28th was, by unintentional coincidence, the same day I had went with our other friend Vicky to the pet store in 2021 for our first planned get-together for the fish. So, I mean, nowadays I think of that as like December 28th should be a fish day for all of us. I hopefully will be able to make a YouTube video about that this December 28th if I can get everyone's permission. Like, by fish day I mean going to the pet store with me for the Boxing Day sale, etc. So anyway, he came over for the first time, and for the first time since I had proposed it and been dreaming about it and been excited for it 2.5 years ago to have some fun with the fish. And then first of all, we started off going to the pet store, and here's the thing. So it's now time to explain the backstory of the Weatherlocks. So I had no plans of getting any Weatherlocks prior to actually seeing the 24K Weatherlock at the pet store on Black Friday 2023. As you can see why it changed the lack of plans to get any. It's just so beautiful and so gorgeous. And initially my plans were to get zebra locks, but I figured I'd postpone them. I'd get them later on, and I'd use the opportunity to get the 24K golden weatherlock with its beautiful spots against its golden color. It was a very rare fish. I was thinking I might not be able to get them again. And here's the thing, it was rare. I've only ever heard of 4 other places that sell them, and those are all in England, not where I live. Other than those 4 places in England, the only place I could find them on the internet was the website of the pet store I went to. So definitely a very rare fish, and it was more expensive too. It was $25 compared to $13 for the normal Weatherlocks. So anyhow, as soon as I saw the 24K golden Weatherlock, my attention had been grabbed, and then that's when I knew that's what that fish I was going to get for Boxing Day was. So, but it wasn't the only one. I was going to be getting a variety of Weatherlock colors as well, and that's why I ended up with the wild type, the half golden, half wild, and the 24K. So, anyhow, since I had been dreaming about getting the Weatherlocks, those are the fish Liam got for me. But he was only able to get 2 because the third one I was planning on getting a usual golden one, but the ones that were at the store at the time were sick, so they were not for sale yet. So we got those 2 ones, and anyhow, the thing is, here's your Easter egg. Let's just go over that one more time. So, Liam had finally made all my dreams come true. I'd been dreaming about having him over, having some fun with the fish for 2.5 years. I finally got that, and ever since I knew about the 24K golden weatherlock, I had been dreaming about getting that. So, check and check. So he got me this beautiful, rare, expensive spotted fish, which that's where your Easter egg comes in. This is the same principle as you getting the spotted surabi or spotted tiger catfish, the Pseudoplatystoma coruscans from Chase Widmer, and I would say that's for that reason, for that connection, like you said, Chase, a good friend of yours, the surabi was a gift, and it made all your dreams. You were dreaming for 15 years to get Pseudoplatystoma coruscans, so he made your dreams come true. I would say that's basically, depending on how you look at it, my 24K golden weatherlock from Liam is the equivalent among the fish I have to your Pseudoplatystoma coruscans from Chase, or vice versa. Anyhow, for that reason, your Pseudoplatystoma coruscans is perhaps the most special fish at Fish Story to me. Not just because not just because it's going to grow up into a huge, beautiful catfish, not just because we could use some good Victor-style documentation on its growth when none exists, as you said in the video, not just because I'm a fan of Surabi in general, but because it symbolizes, just like this fish made your dreams come true from a friend, it's essentially the equivalent of the fish that made my dreams from a friend come true. And that's what I'm going to be... I mean, the gifting video that Chase made about getting you the Pseudoplatystoma coruscans is going to feature in the introductory presentation for my friends, including Liam. And again, if I get his permission, he should be able to tell you his thoughts on the Pseudoplatystoma coruscans thing, the parallel thing. I can hardly wait to tell him myself. Anyhow, so he got me the 24K one and the wild type one. Can't find the wild type one at the moment, but I mean, it was on the camera before. Anyway, he got me those two December 28th, and I had an idea. I would let him and Amber and my third friend Vicky, catch them. No, I'm sorry. Sorry, I got a little mixed up. I was going to let him and his girlfriend Amber and his brother Gabriel, another friend of mine, catch the three I would get when they were done with quarantine. We just didn't have a solid date for that yet, because the third one, I didn't get the third one yet, and so the formal quarantine period hadn't started. Anyway, on January 17th, the original golden weatherlocks were pronounced healthy, so I got one. It wasn't always looking that good, but it was behaving normally until on January 28th it kicked the bucket. I'm guessing it was never... Maybe they were a little too hasty in selling fish that had just recovered from being ill. Anyway, on January 31st, I went back to the pet store, and I saw the golden, half wild one. It looked like a wild one in the pet store, but it turned out to be more golden and to have red eyes when I got it back home, which was a nice surprise. I didn't know such a variety existed. And so I actually used the store credit I got from the Christmas present purchase to get that third one, and I didn't end up having to pay anything to get these weatherlocks, which I find to be really nice. Anyhow, I got it on January 31st, so we planned for April 30th. That got delayed, but to May 14th. Amber wasn't able to make it, so my friend Liam and my other friend and his brother Gabriel came over on May 14th and actually caught and transferred the weatherlocks on the 14th. And I'm glad they did that then. They had fun transferring them here on the 14th. But I'm also glad they did that then, because in the quarantine tank they were frankly a pain in the butt to feed. Like, it was hard to feed them by hand because of such a confined, enclosed space, and they were very bad at finding food that was dropped on the bottom, like less than a centimeter away from their mouth, and oftentimes they missed it. It was a huge pain. Anyhow, now that they're in here, they get almost exclusively almost all of their food from directly from my hands, which is much easier than having them miss food that's directly in front of their faces. I'm glad they aren't in the quarantine tank anymore. It's just so much easier. Anyhow, they're between, I think, 4 to 6 inches, 10 to 15 centimeters in length, so they have a lot of growing to do before they get to adult size of about 10 inches or 25 centimeters. And their names, they're going to be named by Amber and my other friend Vicky, who also accompanied me on the original December 28th, their name themes are going to be Boxing Day pet store sale themed, or at least Boxing Day sale themed. Whatever their names are, I'll be sure to update. And so far, I have to say I'm pleased with how they've been doing in the flow. I expected it would take them some time to get used to the flow, since being air-breathing fish, they don't necessarily come from fast-flowing water, but these ones, I mean, they do seem to be swimming a lot against the flow, as you perhaps just saw with the 24K one swimming directly up against. Yeah, 24K was just swimming directly up against. And I have to say I'm very pleased with how they look together with the other species of loch, like with the coolie lochs, black and striped, with the Burmese lochs, and together even with the neon coolie loch when it will come out. Anyhow, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story of the weather lochs and the Easter eggs about them. I'm sorry if it seemed like it was inarticulate. It's the backstory was a little long and a little loopy, and apologies for that. Anyhow, I look forward to making the next story video, which I want to be about the Burmese lochs. See you then.